Hey guys, we're back again.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe, possibly.
We filled up the prepaid internet minutes again.
Yeah, we had to buy a new card for prepaid minutes.
Remember
AOL. We got a new CD.
We did get a new CD.
We got a new AOL.
Remember you used to have to do that? You had to punch in you had to buy the card, your track phone, you had to punch numbers in on the phone.
Yep. And then beep boop.
What intake manifold is best for an NA application? Well, we did a lot of testing on that.
The one that suits your needs.
The one that suits your needs. We did a lot of intake manifold testing, remember?
Yeah, I'd reference one of those videos.
Yeah, we have lots of videos out. It depends on which one suits your needs. It's hard to beat the 18, and it's hard to beat the Cobra Jet at the end of the day. Depends on what you're after.
Yeah.
And what you want to spend.
And what type of hood clearance you're working with. And
then Doug Heron, Casades Me Hero. I love Doug. Doug kind of worked for me, interned for me. I don't know how you want to call it, but he's like the nicest dude ever. I love him. I never stopped talking to him. Then he went up and he works in Memphis, and the stuff he posts online is hilarious because he works at for a rental car place that does he gets the recoveries, like the theft, the rental theft recoveries. Yep. And the pictures he posts are hilarious.
I think I'm friends with him on Facebook because I know someone on my friends list posts pictures of very wrecked interiors in cars.
Yep, that's him. Like heroin needles stuck in the seats and stuff.
Or blood all over seats where someone got shot in the car and shit.
He's like, keep it classy, Memphis.
Yep, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's good old Doug.
And we've got Travis. I've seen Joe tune fire, which I did on my birthday night.
You tuned the fire?
I tuned the fire with a leaf blower. I had to add an adequate amount of air.
I have to say that fire is not as simple as people make it out to be.
It's not.
It does need tuned.
It does. Log placement is key.
Yes, log placement, what type of log, size and shape of log.
How dry the log is.
How it's stacked up.
See, it's just like tuning. Everything's like tuning.
Everything needs tuned.
Anthony Pine will you help me with the routing of VMP underhood ice tank? I would like the cold water to go directly from tank to intercooler first. I don't like it going to the pump, then heat exchanger, then to intercooler. Help, please. So you take a hose that goes from your intercooler outlet, and you make it, or not your intercooler outlet, your intercooler pump outlet, and you make it to go to your intercooler inlet. It's as simple as that.
And then hook everything else up.
Yeah, well, you don't really need to hook anything else up at that point.
Right. Oh, you just switch that one.
Yeah, you just take the hose that normally goes to the heat exchanger inlet from the intercooler pump outlet, and you connect that hose to the hose that normally goes from heat exchanger outlet to intercooler inlet. So it's like 2 3/4-inch hose barb to hose barb fittings and a 2.5 foot 3 feet piece of hose.
There you go.
And then Bambuso. Hey guys, good afternoon. Are you guys designing a new blower for 2020 GT500? I don't know that we're designing one specifically for 2020 GT500 so much as the one that we make for 5 liter will probably bolt right onto it.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have a GT500 specific blower. I think we're going to have a GT500 kit, which is a version of Odin. More than likely.
Yeah.
Do not quote me on this, but I think that's what we're going to end up doing because Odin is continuing to impress even more and more. I can't spill the beans yet. But,
Odin does the thing, rest assured.
He does the thing. We are seeing some interesting stuff. But yeah. Let's see. What else have we been up to? Let's all work up on questions. You guys would come at us with some questions.
We've got some vacation packages to tune. We have a whole bunch of email tuning to do. I got a whole bunch more.
3-valve Edelbrock car. What's up?
Trace Valvo. That's all I have to say about that.
Mike isn't there. He's like, if I do one more narrowband car, I'd quit. I was like, all right, Mike, give it to me. I'll do it.
And it's not even like the car's fault necessarily so much as it is like, I don't know, people wanting busted ass cars tuned. It's like, guys, fix your cars.
Fix your stuff.
I don't understand.
Half the motor has 80s in it, and the other half has 105s, and like every other hole has a 60 in it. Can you tune this?
And then you have the ones where my narrow bands are swap bank to bank, and
that was the S10's problem.
That was like 90% of the narrowband shit we do, and it's like, oh, well, can't you just fix it in the tune? And it's like, dude.
Yes.
You take your connectors and you go like this. Just fix your shit.
Make all the zeros ones and all the ones zeros in the mapping, and it'll work, right?
Boom, done.
I wonder if you could do that, actually.
You probably could, but why, guys? Just fix it right.
Well, what's funny is a lot of times you have to work harder to cross them. Like, obviously the harness is naturally laid out to plug in the correct place.
Yeah.
So it's like you had to go out of your way to cross them somehow. Mm-hmm. But I bet we see that at least once a week.
Yeah, at least once a week.
At least once a week of someone crossing the O2 sensors. And the telltale is you get a data log back and one side is plus 30%, the other side's negative 30%. I'm like, well, there it is.
There it is. Here's your sign. And it's still trending lean and trending rich. Because it's not seeing the right bank.
Facts. And then, what's our next big event? Ponies and Smokies? Is there anything before that?
I don't think so.
Ponies and Smokies is in March.
TX2K? Is TX2K?
That's an event, yeah.
Is that before or after Ponies and Smokies?
He wants to go to it, though.
I'm going either way.
I've never been to TX2K.
It's nice.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Lots of fast cars out there. Nicholas George, 2007 GT500 with Gen 3R. Would you rather tune it with 91 plus full bottle of Boostain for 99 octane according to Boostain calculator, or 91 infused 116 mixed for 99 octane? Any difference? I would not. I don't like tuning. I think I've said it before. I don't like tuning mixes of race gas and Boostain.
I feel like Boostain's going to give them a repetitive number, easier to mix.
Consistent.
Yeah, it's going to be easier to mix.
Less change in stoic and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd be trying to target 99 octane with it, though. At that point, I'd rather see you, like, run race gas or run pump gas. Not to say that you can't, but just like, but why, though?
Yeah, unless he's just after the extra power and wants a 100 octane tune all the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
But basically, to answer your question directly, I'd rather see you see pump gas and Boostain than trying to mess around with mix and race gas in 91.
Mm-hmm. Half-ass or whole-ass? Choose one.
Yeah. What else we got here? Keenan Cohen. My motor blew up in my twin-turbo Mustang. Was thinking of putting the turbo system on my 2012 GT500. Would I have to build a motor to handle the new power setup?
It depends on how hard you push it.
I don't think the kit will fit because I think the 5.4 is a taller deck.
Yeah, I don't know what level he's talking about transferring the kit. Like, is he just talking about taking the turbos and fabbing up some other pipes and stuff?
Yeah, because I don't think the kit will fix because it's a taller deck. A lot of it will probably be close, but I don't think it's going to be...
Well, the shape of the ports is completely different.
There's that. The bolt pattern is different, I think.
The clearance to steering shaft is different.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to work.
No.
But to answer your question, 2012 GT500, probably 800.
Yeah, 800 on a twin setup, but don't expect it to bolt on.
Yeah.
Travis, tell us of your Turbo SN95. No one here wants to know about the Turbo SN95.
I didn't know you had it. Who has a Turbo SN? You had it?
I have a Turbo SN95.
You have one?
I have one.
Where the hell is that at?
My house.
Huh. I didn't know this.
Oh, well, Matt
I've known Joe a year, and I did not know this.
Huh. Well then. Yeah, I have a Turbo SN95.
What PCM?
Stock PCM, LLX3.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
On 3 kit?
Yeah, on 3.
Yes.
On 3 single kit.
All 400 vicious horsepower of it.
It's made 400.
Yeah, see?
Technically, it's...
What are you doing with it? Why is it
nothing,
just sitting?
It's just sitting in my house. It's got blower cams in it. It has Comp 106 460s in it. And
obviously it needs an E303, Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
It spools like crap. It's got a 67
runs hard. Actually, kind of all joking aside, E303 makes one hell of a nice turbo cam. It really does.
Well, I could run one of those if it was actually a pushrod 5-liter. It's an SN95, but it's a 96. And it has a built 4 valve.
Oh, you didn't say that.
Well, I said it had comp 106 460s. You should have known that's comp stage 3 NA blower. Or
no,
comp
just
stage 3
not
blower.
memorizing comp part numbers, okay?
Yeah, it's got a 4.6 head 4 valve.
You should probably sell that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's worth like 1,000.
At least 2.
I'm just kidding.
At least 2. Yeah. I haven't decided if I'm going to swap the cams before I try to sell it, but I got to do some other shit to it before I sell it anyways.
Your time is worth money, Joe, and you're not getting the additional money out of it of the time spent fixing it.
Yeah, I think I have like
just tell it bye-bye.
500 road miles on it in the past 2 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, and I paid insurance on it this whole time. It's
Brian
painful.
says he'd buy it.
I think Brian would like it. It makes whooshy noises.
See?
I do like whooshy noises.
See?
Right.
And then we've got Dale's sign. Are you guys going to NMRA this year? We're going to a couple of the NMRA events. We're not going to all of them.
I don't know if we're going to Bradenton. I think he's talking about Bradenton in March.
I mean, all the NMRA doesn't run one event, so I'm confused. It's like typically we would go to Bradenton and we go to Bowling Green, and then like Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that'd be like the big 3 for us. And then sometimes we'll go to Joliet. But if you're curious about which ones we're going to, we're still trying to figure out our event schedule for this year. So give us a week or 2 and we'll be hosting it.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. I like Joliet though. Joliet's a good track.
Yeah, it's a really good track. There's another track in Ohio that has some bomb ice cream they give you for $1 bucket. It might be Norwalk. You remember the one that has like $1 bucket for ice cream?
I haven't been to a track in Ohio. I haven't been to a track in Ohio since
If one of you guys knows where the track that has the ice cream buckets is, let us know. Janssen 5.0, Joe what was the fastest your truck went last year? At ModNats this year, I turned it, depends on which way you're looking at it, I turned it down, aka I ran less boost and it went at 1090. I don't think I had any 1080s with it, but yeah, I think it was 1090 at the last Mod Motor Nats event. And Andrew Cadell.
Alexander Cadell?
Does the
Cadell?
Yeah, I'm not going to murder it anymore. Does the CJ high RPM pulse ring help with tuning, or is it stock one on my 15 GT fine? I asked since the clutch is coming out and I want to do all the parts I can replace done while it's out.
The stock one's fine.
Yeah, stock's fine.
I've never got any solid data. I've even asked this question myself. I've never seen any solid data that supports that you need.
I think it's the difference between a non-Ford Racing part number and a Ford Racing part number, and that's it.
Yeah, well, supposedly there's like, okay, so I don't know if you're a big shooter, but so you take the M1, and then there's the M1 matches, and all it is, it's the same damn rifle, but they shoot them all, and then the top 10% most accurate get the special label. They get pulled out of production.
Man.
The top 10% get pulled out of production, and those are the match ones. So I thought my idea or theory was that that's what they do with the pulse rings. Is there's obviously a tolerance and acceptable quality control between, so maybe they take the top tier of accurate pulse rings, and those get pulled out, and those are the Ford Racing ones.
Maybe.
But I can't find anyone that really knows one way or another.
Yeah.
If you were building a 9,500 RPM race motor, it probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
But for just a street car that's going to stay 8,000 or below, I just don't see the point. Yeah. I've never seen an issue with a factory pulse ring. Never even heard of it.
Not in Coyote stuff.
No. Because early on, if you remember, they thought that was the reason you couldn't go past...
we found out it's actually in the PCM.
Yeah, it was actually the PCM. So people started turning stock PCMs 8200. So...
Then we have Jed. 2018 Whipple, no cats on E85 with fuel system, 3.5 pulley okay to run with cats, would be about 14 PSI. That's between you and your tuner. That's not between you and me.
No cats. I mean, would it be okay to run with cats on E85? Well, I will say that the E85 does run burn Kohler. So the cat temp would go down on E85, but I can't really, I'm not the one tuning it. You have to ask.
Whoever's tuning your car is the best person to ask on that. And David Boudreau. Hey, if you're going to run the drag strip on an NA setup for a 12 Boss 302, who's staying in on 93 pump gas just to raise octane? Is there any advantage NA setup? is going to E85.
Yep. It'll get you a little bit more if it gives you that last little bit of that last 2 degrees, 3 degrees.
Come in.
If you're going from 25 to 28 or 26 to 28, it'll help you a little bit.
And then you got this one, Telosico.
Which one? Oh, Telesico, the Gen 2R cold air intake, E85, 69 millimeter off-road exhaust, ran 10.4 at 139. What kind of power should I be making or time slips with this setup? Does this sound about right and it seems slow? What generation of Coyote?
I'd imagine he's talking about S550, but I don't know.
Maybe, and he doesn't say if it's a manual or an auto, so that affects it as well, as far as the times. So I need a little bit more info. I don't think 10.4 at 139 is that terrible.
I don't either, especially if we're talking S550 stock weight.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
We got Janssen 5.0 again. Any Chucky news for the future to be determined? We
haven't.
It was in the trailer.
It was in the trailer, and it was dead,
as a doornail?
like dead. Like when the battery is so dead, and you put the charger on it, and the charger doesn't even know it's connected to anything. That kind of dead.
That's dead.
Yeah. So, but we did fire it up and move it out of the trailer to go to Streetcar Takeover, and it's been sitting ever since again. So
it's gonna be dead again.
right now, Chucky has helped doing his part to hold down the concrete.
Yep.
Make sure the concrete doesn't go anywhere.
What a fine job.
Yes, he's doing a very good job of it.
Yeah. Right now, our higher focus is on GT500 stuff and Odin stuff. So once we get through some of that work, we'll move on to Chucky.
Dino Pool video coming soon.
For which one?
Track Tech.
Okay. Dyno Pole video coming soon for Track Attack. We've already recorded.
What a unique sounding Mustang that thing is. I'm just gonna. Where do you guys see this video? We took the Track Attack in general with this crazy ass side exhaust was already a very exotic sounding Mustang to begin with, and then we just threw this GT500 motor in there. And it's unlike anything I've ever heard. It's very interesting. It sounds really good. It's just it sounds angry. Always.
It's very, very angry. It has a nice little snarl to it.
Yeah. So.
And we got
Always on time. What's the best tool that would make it super easy to gap spark plugs?
So is that a Back to the Future reference?
Always on time.
Wasn't that like a license plate or something in Back to the Future?
Maybe.
But what's the best tool that would make it super...
Cox Locks makes a... Why are you laughing? I don't understand why you are laughing, Joe. That is the name of his company. Out of time.
Out of time, my bad.
So anyway, Cox Locks sells a spark plug gapping tool that has feeler gauges built into it. And it works very, very good. I believe UPR sells the same thing. But I haven't used UPRs. I ordered like 5 or 6 from Cox Locks. You guys are like 7. And Cox Locks sent me...
I don't know why you have to say it every time if you're going to call me
7 of them. And I gave one to Jesse, and Jeremy has one. I sent one down to Mario, and everyone... I love it. Because it's like I said, it's the feeler gauges, and it has a little thumb knob, and you twist it in, and it closes the gap. Done deal. Cox Locks.
R for what's the best way to wire a triple pump fuel hat where all the pumps are not on at the same time, causing a lot of heat, hob switch, I don't really like hop switches.
Yeah, it's one more thing to break. That's the problem. What I would do is make sure that they are wired to the factory fuel pump signal wire, so that when the pumps do not run all the time,
they're not key on power.
They're not key on power, and that way, if you're in an accident and the PCM or the inertia fuel shuts off the pumps, that still works. Versus when you wire them direct and they're key on all the time.
And you're knocked out because you just did something, and
or
your pump's running, and
somebody rear-ended you because she was texting and doing 400 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, hob switch is personal choice. I've honestly not ever seen a problem with 3 pumps heating fuel.
Do they put heat in fuel? Absolutely.
Yes.
But on a fuel-injected car, have I seen it be a legitimate issue? No.
Right. But a hob switch does work and is used quite often. My problem is if the switch quits working, now you're running around with 1 pump instead of 3, and all hell breaks loose.
Or an output from the PCM and triggers it solid state instead of a little.
That's what I have on the Holly. That's switch. See, now my race car, that's the way it is. The Holly triggers. The other 2 pumps come on with TPS, and it's solid state. So that would be ideal, but the factory PCM doesn't do that.
If you could get a controller set up to where it looks at the output voltage from the fuel pump, because at least Coyote you have low and high pump.
Right.
If you could get it to look at the voltage coming out of the fuel pump wiring and determine low speed, high speed based on that, then it wouldn't be too hard. And then you could have something set up to trigger the 2nd and 3rd relay outputs for fuel pump.
Skipping down a little bit, so this Tello Sicko, that was the guy that gave us more information. So it's a 2012 5-liter saline full weight 20s at 7,000 T6060. I don't think that's that bad.
Yeah, for a manual car, that's not bad.
I really don't think that's that bad, manual car at all. I mean, 139 and change, so call it 140.
Yeah, maybe put a 2-step or something on the car.
Yeah, maybe no lift shift.
If you're not able to
the 6060
shift
is
it the way you
a
want.
great transmission. It's got a 410. It's on a heavy 20. So, you're limited. You said stock motor, so you really don't want to make more than 700 to begin with. And honestly, you're probably there.
Past that.
You're probably past that driving 139.
Yeah.
According to some quick math at me, 139 puts you at 730-ish.
Probably around there.
So I don't think that's that slow at all.
I agree.
Maybe just find some more in the 60-foot somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And we got Dean Gresham, 2014 VMP GT500. Sometimes it stalls while I'm cruising in high gear, let off the throttle, and shift to neutral. Do you think that might be something that could be adjusted in the tune? Yeah, I think it's possible. Whoever you're dealing with tuning on it, shoot them a response or shoot them an email. And
unless it's me, then just email Joe. I'm just kidding. No, I don't recognize. It doesn't say it's. I don't recognize. Yeah, I don't recognize the names. So
I don't know who's tuning it, but just get with them, and that should be something that can be adjusted.
Car Culture Nation. Interesting. My dad has a '72 Gran Torino. My man. And it's, what is it? He's had he's had it since he was 4 years old. Now he spent life savings resto modding it with a 2011 GT500 crate motor, TCI 6-speed auto. Would you want to tune it? It's called Project Breathless. That's kind of cool. And now that I'm thinking about getting some VMP work, supercharger, etc. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
We do. That's one of our Level X tunes. We do them all the time. Which is our Level X is our swap tunes. We do them all the time. Honestly, the engine doesn't care what it's in. As long as you got the right controller for it. As long as you got the right controller, there's no vacuum leaks, cold air intakes are set up properly and not hacked together. Base fuel pressure set up right. It has a proper fuel system. The TCI 6-speed auto is going to be a standalone deal, so we don't really care about that.
Yeah, I think they use a fast controller for those.
Probably. So I don't have a problem with it.
No, Justin's GT500 had a TCI 6X in it.
I've never used it, but I just know it's a standalone thing.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with it. Joe doesn't have a problem with it. Maybe just email or call into sales and talk to sales a little bit about it and give them...
Just kind of vet the setup a bit more and we can see about tuning it.
We'll see about tuning it.
This is that question that I just put in there is in regards to that same car. If you're talking about Project Breathless, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't figure out the locking of the torque converter on Project Breathless 72. So that's more of the controller. I haven't used that controller, so I couldn't help you.
No, I never played with the torque converter lockup on Justin's car.
But we are smart people. We can figure it out.
Yeah. And then we have David Boudreau. Would you use... Yeah, we already answered that. I think we answered that earlier. Yeah, would you use boosting to raise the 93 gas, pump gas naturally aspirated on the drag strip just to raise the octane level any advantage? Yes, there is a little. There's a little bit, not much, but there is some. Yeah.
Maybe 10, maybe 15 horsepower by putting some boosting in it.
Yeah, and then Salty saying, how often do you guys get in a Coyote swap Fox bodies to either add superchargers or to just tune? How do you guys like those swaps?
We do quite a bit of those actually.
We do a lot of Coyote swap stuff.
They're definitely getting, and it seems like they're not slowing down. They're getting even more popular.
Yeah.
I think these people have been building them for a long time, and now that the engines are starting to come down in price, especially the Gen 1 stuff, they're starting to come down in price from where they were.
People are actually starting to
really start doing the swaps. And
it's nice to see people not putting LSs in them.
Yeah, thank God.
It's nice that they're choosing the Ford option.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And then... Stu Boyce, VMP tuned, is it expected to see negative knock on an E85 tune at Watt with or without forced induction?
Yes.
Yes.
Negative knock meaning that it's adding timing.
Yes.
Yeah, we never, I shouldn't say never, we very rarely set a tune up where it has all of its timing instantly. We generally like it to add its own at least a little bit.
Yeah, at least a degree or
just
two.
So we know it's happy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to have the commanded timing slightly lower and let the PCM add it because it's happy, then start with too much and have to remove it. So that's generally the model that we follow.
And then Travis shot, what would possibly cause a 15 GT to take a little longer to start, like sort of hesitating? It happens randomly and not on every startup. It's hard to say.
We've been seeing a lot of those, like the cranking fuel stuff that we've been working on.
Well, not only that, we've seen guys with fuel pumps that are going bad have issues. Where the drain back valve is bad, so it doesn't have fuel pressure during like the first 3 seconds of crank, and then when it finally does get fuel pressure, it starts up. The only way to really know if that's one of your problems is by putting in a fuel pressure transducer and monitoring fuel pressure during the crank cycle. And who else?
Car Culture Nation. And would you recommend a supercharger from y'all and some parts to buy?
Yeah, we can. It just depends on what your goals are and what you're trying to do.
That's the Gran Torino.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, can we recommend it? Yeah,
absolutely.
Our blower is great
as long as you got enough fuel system in the car. Absolutely.
Exactly, and then
because a Torino isn't a light car by any means.
No, it's not.
Sadly, it probably weighs as much as a modern Mustang. That's the cool factor. At the end of the day, especially if you're gonna do the car show thing. When you open the hood and there's a supercharger sitting on it,
it's a lot cooler.
It's a lot cooler than it's just a cold air intake and a manifold. Sorry, but it is the way it is. Cool. I didn't write the rules.
I'm just here to enforce them.
Right.
And with that, it's 2:18. We got 12 minutes left, I think.
12 minutes, just burning through questions.
That'd be a full hour, wouldn't it?
Well, we had some like weird. Yeah. Started kind of late, and then.
Yeah, we can do 2:20. I mean, it's 2:19 already, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
So should we go 2:25?
This clock's wrong. Yeah, let's do 2:25.
All right, we'll do 2:25.
So questions?
There are more questions.
There you go.
Oh, he's doing the copy pasty.
Control V, or Control C, Control V.
All right, what we got?
Todd Warren.
How's it going, baby? What is the pulley setup for a Cobra Gen 3 to reach max RPM?
We'll see. You cut grooves into the shaft that comes out of the blower.
So are you talking about the actual Cobra Gen 3? Because I remember Todd was talking about possibly putting a GT500 blower on his car.
No, because he did. Yeah, I don't want to throw a man's laundry out there.
The next question refers to that one too, guys.
7,000. Yeah, it is 7,000 engine RPM. So he's talking about a Gen 3 Cobra, like 0304 Cobra Gen 3. I'm 90% sure. So
we've run them like 27,000 RPM, if I recall correctly.
I don't know. That's a Justin question more than anything.
Well, we've run them with like a 22% lower with like a 2.4 upper.
Listen, this is 03 Cobra. We don't do percents, all right? Is it a 2, 4, 6, or 8 pound lower?
So with a Cobra...
You know I'm right, too.
Exactly. With a Cobra, you could probably run like a 304 pound if you really want to go crazy with it.
You just have a 10-pound lower on
But
my
I'd
leg.
say try and figure out what power number you want to target, and then we can kind of tell you what blower speed you're going to need to achieve it. Instead of trying to focus on maxing out blower speed, because max out blower speed on a 2650, you can make 28, 30 pounds of boost on a small displacement engine real quick.
Take your steering wheel off and use that as a crank pulley.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you can, Todd, just kind of let me know what type of power you're looking to make and what the rest of the setup is, and I can tell you what pulley size I'd go with to achieve that.
Or 8-pound lower with a 276 upper.
And we got
figure out how to make it not slip.
We got, is that Tello again?
That same guy, yeah.
Are there any gains using Boss 302 exhaust cams and springs? I wouldn't bother swapping cams in an NA car, especially if, this is the guy with the blower 12.
Yes, that's the guy that has the saline.
I wouldn't even bother putting Boss cams
Not
in it.
on that combo, because you're still at the limit of the motor.
If I was cracking into the motor, it'd be to do a short block and head studs. It wouldn't be to do a set of cams.
I agree completely.
Cristo Arenas.
You guys tune a 2001 Mustang Bullet with a Torque Tech kit. Stock Eaton, 47-pound injectors, upgraded fuel pumps, stock long block. Yeah, I don't have a problem with
I've tuned many Torque Tech kits.
Yeah.
And
when it comes down to EEC5 stuff, all we really care about is that it has a proper mass air meter on it and a proper injector. Mm-hmm. When you come at me with Bosch 105s and it's got a stock mass air meter put into a piece of Home Depot PVC pipe, I'm going to tell you no. Mm-hmm. I've tuned that combo, by the way. But I'm going to
duct tape
tune that exact combo.
To PVC pipe.
I have tuned that exact combo.
Oh,
so that's all we really care about, is that it's set up properly.
Otherwise it's a nightmare for both of us. For the person data logging it and for the person trying to tune around all the bowl. Jesse Spiker, how much timing can I put in my full bolt-on Mustang, pulley cover, strut tower brace, belt dressing, painted the intake and K&N high flow filter? As many timings as the max spark limit says you can put in.
Correct.
So those processors 55 to 63 degrees.
Well, I will let you know that the most that you can do hexadecimal-wise is 63.6.
That sounds about right.
So
most processors will limit you at about 63.5.
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm. So technically, Jesse, you could put 63 degrees of timing in your motor.
Eesh. Can you imagine doing that? What?
Let's try it. Let's try it on the SHO.
Oh no!
Oh, we can't tune the SHO.
So Eric, if you're watching, I doubt you are, but if you're watching, we need the 9293 Ford Taurus SHO processor added to HP tuners.
Yeah, just so we can give it 63
You know what we should see? We should see if SET has it.
Oh God! You know what? I wonder if they do.
I bet they do.
They do have some weird ass cows.
They have really
random stuff supported,
which is awesome. But I don't know. I don't know what the processor code is.
Does that thing still run?
I think he broke one of the things on it when the thing happened, so it just revs up by itself.
Oh, that's right. We need that $600 probe. I think that's our next.
Ooh, should we pull the SHO engine out and put it in the probe?
Yes.
Oh.
Brian just got so excited.
He did.
Why is the desk lifting?
He was riding off our high right there. Turbinator Lou, Gen 2 swapped car last week. Asked about dual 340s using an 0304 tank and hat. Not sure if they'll fit, but also two 450s. That overkill for Gen 2 swap car, aiming for 7,800 on E85. So completely throw away the stock fuel hat. Just make it go away. Buy yourself a lethal Division X 4 Innovations hat. Put a pair of Walbro TI Auto 2,000 274 pumps in it and ride out.
God, the people that try and they take the stock hats and they weld AN fittings in them and they drill holes for extra wires and they try and use hardware store epoxy and you can't fill it up and it's leaking fuel everywhere. I saw a guy cut up he sliced up a cutting board.
That is hot rodding. That is hot rodding.
Sliced up a nylon cutting board and tried to run studs through the hat and use the nylon cutting board. These people will spend
$700 and weeks of their time to not spend
buy a
$800.
hat. To not buy a hat. And no offense, guys, it's generally the O3 Cobra guys.
Yeah.
It really is.
Or the 2-valve Mach 1 guys.
It's bad, but it's usually the O3 Cobra guys. When it comes to a hatchet-ass fuel system, the O3 Cobra guys take the cake.
So I got 2 Ford GT pumps. I got 2 FPDMs. I ran a wire from the battery.
No, the best
to the fuel head.
No, the best is I have 2 450 Walboros and a booster pump on the stock driver. And the thing's like smoking at idle.
It goes into thermal.
It goes into
protection
thermal
at like idle.
Yeah, at idle. and then what? I don't
understand.
I don't understand.
And there's people online that are running these pumps. Yeah, and return systems with hats.
Jesus.
All right, so we'll get off our little rant there. Travis Shot, how would I go about getting a fuel pump transducer? So not a fuel pump transducer, a fuel pressure transducer. CFM makes a rail. Drill a hole in a fitting, thread it for 1/8 inch MPT, put an 1/8 inch MPT pressure transducer in there that is fuel oil compatible.
Facts.
And run 3 wires to an SCT device or run 3 wires to a N-gauge, and ta-da, you have fuel pressure.
Yeah.
A little bit of
magic.
This, setting up formulas, and you're good.
Yep. Was this Janssen 50?
Yep, Janssen 50.
Janssen 50. On my 14 680 Mustang with a 4C converter, I always see knock at 3,000 RPM. Any ideas what is happening at that RPM which causes knock? What fuel is it on would be my main thing. I would say so what we generally tell people, anytime we get knock and we're trying to figure out if it's real knock or false knock, the first thing we do is say add octane. So if it's on 93, put butane in it or some kind of race gas in it, and see if the knock still happens. If the knock still happens, then it's false. If it's on E85, I can promise you it's false. So then your next thing is you've got 2 options. You can start trying to track down where the false knock is coming from, whether it be exhaust hitting things, sway bars hitting things, steering shafts hitting things, front accessories rattling, all of the above. That can cause false knock, or if you just get fed up and you can't find it, you can always just desensitize the knock sensors a little bit in that range, just in that area, until it goes away.
Yeah.
That is
obviously not preferred, but...
Not preferred, but it does.
If it's the axe you need to get the job done.
Yes. If you're using a hatchet to take your wheel off.
Yep. Yep.
So, but that'll work. That's generally the flow path that we use with our remote customers.
Yep.
So,
and with that,
who is this? Finish these and the no.
So now that we're done with all your questions,
I feel like we make a new rule. We're gonna make Brian submit a question that he wants to know the answer to every episode.
Ooh.
So Brian,
what question?
is your
We put him on the spot. So we're gonna put him on the spot this time, and then next weekend he has plenty of time to think of his question. So we need the Brian question of the
So a little background: Brian's not like super car savvy.
He's not dumb. We're not saying he's dumb.
Nope, he's not. He's just not super car savvy. Brian's a guy that likes doing his own thing, and when it comes time to work on a car,
watch this.
Here's my car, fix it.
Brian's a media guy that plays a guitar.
Exactly.
Very well. Exactly. And I've generally figured out that the better you play, the better someone plays a guitar, the less they know about cars.
I feel like that's
true, but
maybe super accurate.
I feel like now, though, after all the videos I put together, I could probably install...
You have definitely self-taught very well.
I can probably install a supercharger. I know for a fact I can install an 18 manifold.
He's got that. He's got that.
Because he does all the editing of the videos and stuff, so he sits there and watches our install videos over and over and over again. He actually has.
If he has a question, he asks a text and he asks tuning.
He actually hears Justin's voice in his sleep at night.
True, I do. I wake up to it like, am I late yet?
So he's come a long way, but generally Brian is not of the car savvy person. So Brian, we're gonna have the Brian's question of the week. So something that he wants to learn about cars that we will answer for him.
Right, but does it always have to be about cars?
Not necessarily. It could be. No, that's what I said. It doesn't have to be about cars. It could just be a question. Maybe we don't know the answer to it.
Okay.
So.
My go-to question is, if a chicken had lips, could it whistle?
So for those that couldn't hear, his question is, if a chicken had lips, could it whistle? The real question is, does it have to whistle with its mouth?
With that.
Have you ever heard a chicken's butthole whistle? And with that, we're out of here. Have a good day, guys.